you always go home for work going, wow, I went to work today, you know?
The greater the stakes, the greater the drama.
Sometimes you feel like a total waste of space, really, when you look at people who have proper jobs. And then you go, what am I doing? Flouncing around, putting on voices and dressing up. But people need to go to the pictures, and people need some sort of escape. Artists don't let people down like politicians let people down and bankers let people down. The quality of the work may fluctuate, but they keep making it. They keep trying, and they keep giving some sort of sucker, I think, you know, kind of overpaid. And there's a huge amount of stupidity and hot air that surrounds it all. And a lot of that I don't subscribe to, but I think sometimes the film can change someone's life. If you can do that through a piece of art, then I feel like you're giving something important back. I just was realizing that I was really into performing, you know, and I wasn't quite sure. Live performance. I really liked playing the guitar and singing, and I really liked acting on stage. This director of a theatre company came in and worked with us over the course of a few months, and I loved it. And I thought he was just the coolest guy ever. I just developed a huge man crush on him. And then I'd see him out in Cork drinking, like in pubs and things, and I was like, you gotta give me an audition for a play. Fair play to him, he gave me an audition, and it was for this play called Disco Pigs. And it became quite successful. We made the play and then we made a film. That kind of changed everything, really. I had never, ever envisaged ever being in a film or being on television or anything like that. I wanted to be a theatre actor. That's what I saw happening, you know, when I decided to go for it. I moved to London and started to get slightly bigger parts. I did this film called 28 Days Later. People saw that film, and people saw it in America. And that definitely was a marker as well, because, you know, I was working with Danny Boyle, and it was the lead part.
I love doing it. I love all the big scenes. I love working with Helen McCrory. I love working with Paul Anderson. I love working with Tom Hardy. You know, I relish those big scenes. Those confrontational scenes, they're very, very satisfying for an actor when you get that caliber of actor acting up, you know. So there's nothing that, you always go home for work going, wow, I went to work today, you know.
What you want as an actor, or certainly what I want, is to work with people with strong visions, you know, and you can't find anybody with a stronger vision than Christopher Nolan, you know. I mean, he's written, produced and directed this, you know, thing, and it's kind of phenomenal. And you know, it is still collaborative. Like, we spent a lot of time on the phone talking about this character and talking about how to pitch it, and he just kind of left me off to go and do my research, and then bring my research to him and say, look, I've thought this and this might be appropriate, so what do you think? So yeah, I mean, there is absolutely scope to collaborate, but you want to work with someone who is that.
He'll guide you.
Yeah, or just has, I mean, he knows exactly every frame of the film as he's shooting it, you know, which is so comforting. You know? It's a real privilege to work with him every time. I mean, there's no argument that he's like one of the greatest directors around at the moment. I think everyone accepts that. So as an actor, selfishly, you want to work with the best people, and he's definitely one of those. But every relationship between a director and an actor should be collaborative. I mean, you know, they're the boss and they're the leader, but you know, it has to be an exchange of ideas always. It tends to be that. I mean, I love watching comedies or whatever, but the films that I really, the ones that are close to my heart, I guess, are the dramatic ones, you know, and the pieces of, generally not just films, like pieces of art and literature and everything. They tend to be the ones, I think, where the stakes are raised, and to me that is drama.
Yeah.
The greater the stakes, the greater the drama. And that, to me, is more compelling to watch. And that's, I guess, the sort of material that I'm drawn to. Lovely environment to work in, and then we had fun. And I think you have to do that. You're lucky to be working. You're lucky to be working on such a good project. And you know, you can't go around all sort of sad and intense. You know, you've got to get through the day.
Well, I think you have to learn from each job you do as an actor. You're constantly learning. It's an ongoing learning process, really. But this is unique for me, certainly, in having to develop a character over a long period of time and sort of grow with the character. I've never done that before. And I suppose to have the confidence in going that once you've established it and people, you know, have invested in it to a degree, then you can be brave. So I suppose it's that I've
tried to take that from it as a lesson that you can actually be brave with the character and take it places that you mightn't have necessarily thought of at the beginning.
I was really aware of the script being fantastic and Danny being Danny, and I really worked at the auditions. I did like 5 auditions, and auditioning is a terrible experience, because you're not giving a performance. It's a different skill, not one that I'm very good at or was very good at. Danny saw something and took a chance, and that is a film I'm very proud of, and for some reason it resonated with people and people went to see it. So that's where people began to attempt to pronounce my name. I've been attempting ever since.
There's such an amount of resources out there for an actor, nowadays to you can research everything, and I think that is your duty to do that. But again, I always, with every role, I try to do as much research as possible to have it all available. And once you've done that, kind of leave it behind, because you have to focus on the truth of the character, and you have to make the character as believable as possible.
It's freedom. Madness. Killing. Shit, maybe it's in us. This was Shelby's. It's in our gypsy blood. We live somewhere between life and death.
Wake up. Boys front.
Waiting to move on.
Mr. Shelby.
Sing like songbirds in the house.
She said it were the gypsies made the nails for Jesus' cross. That's why we're cursed and restless. You have to move around or the guilt catches up with you.
And in the end, we accept it. We shake hands with the devils. And then afterwards, we leave ourselves in the bodies of whomever we choose. And we walk past them.
What are you doing, Tommy?
Something shit, Scully. It's like you.
Why are you doing that, Tommy?
To remind myself what I'd be if I wasn't who I am.
I just realized you're the perfect balance between the gods Dionysus and Apollo. Irrational frenzy.
What do I have to do to make people fucking listen to me? You think we're gonna be no
Take my boy, Tony. There's no rest in this world.
Controlled by reason and self-reflection.
Since when do you need explanations, Tony?
Since I entered politics. What's on the next? Gangs, wars, truces. Anything I didn't already know. I'll do what I have to do. Any of you want no part in the future of this company? Walk out the door. The only way to make people listen.
You're not God.
That is God. That is making blindness. Is it another war you're looking for, Tony? We're much closer to telling them God.
There is a fight going on between big and small.
Rule 1, you don't punch above your weight.
Big will fuck small. God. Fucking everything! No nothing!
Yeah, well, you can tell Tommy from me all the girls in the office think he's losing his fucking mind.
I saw you in a field, right, with a big black horse.
And I'm scared, Grace.
Jesus fucking God. You're fucking frightening myself. You said goodbye, and then bang.
That's all about guilt.
Big will fuck
My fucking guilt.
The war is done! Shut the door.
Rule 1, you don't punch above your weight.
You still love her, don't you?
Shut the door on it, like I did.
For those of you with ambition, expansion process begins tomorrow.
You have to listen to the voices that you hear. I warn you. Do what they tell you to do. I'll break your heart. Unlock the door and come home to me. Are you okay, Thomas?
It's just myself talking to myself about myself. It's business, Grace.
Just business as fucking usual.
And bad business it is, all round.
You were one decision away from death, Mr. Shelby.
Tommy Shelby is not afraid to die.
Because I'm already dead.
So everything from now on is extra.
Oh, and there's a woman. Oh, I love.
Anyone you touch.
It wasn't the blue stone, Tommy. It was you.
It was the consequence of my
It was you.
Which means anyone any of us touch.
For me, family is my strength, and there's business to be done. I need you.
And all my family is here to celebrate.
Everyone in my family hates me. Nothing to come back to. And this is all I can give you for what you give me. For your hearts and your souls.
Shelby Brothers Limited.
Tommy, Mum's leaving. John's dead. Arthur needs help.
Fuck you!
No peace for either of you. Ever.
If I'd have stuck to what I do, he'd still be kicking a ball in the street. It's funny, isn't it?
That's why you should never pretend to be me.
I was on the bridge tonight, later, and I looked down, and Grace was there.
How are you digging yourself out now?
I can't dig in now.
What is your concern, Tommy?
For 1 minute. The soldier's minute. In a battle, that's all you get. 1 minute of everything at once.
Good boy. Good boy. All right then. Well, what now?